Ladies and gentlemen, it is me, your mate Narlin. Today in Bones, do not adjust that dial. Stick around, because we are going to have a look at the Naga's calls, which are a culverin, standard sort of cannon, I suppose you'd call it. And this particular cannon, I happen to do about 300,000 damage on Megafort Woven Hole on the weak point the other day. So that's probably the most damage I've ever done in the game of Skull and Bones. But I'm not actually going to show you that today. Today we're going to go to Woven Hole. Sorry, not to Woven Hole. We're going to Megafort Oosten, which at this point you should all be familiar with, because I thought we'd go try it out at Oosten and see what happens. So, like I say, stick around. Please, if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to the page for more Skull and Bones videos. And if you wouldn't mind, please give me a like and a comment if there is anything you'd like to add. I'm obviously picking up pieces of 8 while we're here as well, but let's get straight into it. Hopefully some people join me, so I'm not doing this by myself, because Oosten can really stuff you up. Oh, look at that. For some reason the towers are already down, so maybe I can actually do this solo, which would be kind of cool. Alright, let's have a look and see what's around. We have one ship here. So these are the Naga's calls. You can see that per hit they're doing, what, between 900 and 1200 damage. The weak point damage is obviously a lot better, but making pretty short work of these level 12 ships. Now I am doing the solo at the moment, so obviously I need to be a little bit careful of staying stationary. You can see the difference there. I didn't even have the range to hit that particular ship with my thunder cannons. So that's the demi cannons, and I do have a video on those demi cannons, which are actually very, very cool. So go check out my other videos as well. If you are watching this and you haven't watched my other videos, please go check them out. Making mincemeat work of these smaller ships. These galleons, I guess they're galleons. I don't know what they are, but I call them galleons. Making pretty light work of these when we hit them in the weak point. Now the other thing here is, when I fire my muskets, I am actually running, if you check out my furniture video, my major furniture adds 8,000 health once I make a crew attack, and you see that there with my health increasing. There we go. So making fairly light work of these ships here in Oosten. This is what we want to see. I always get a little bit nervous soloing a Megafort attack, because it normally means I'm going to die or get sunk. Now these cannons are what I would call semi-automatic, so each hit is basically is me hitting the smashing R2. That was my torpedoes, the Requiems. Alright, so now we're going to see what these things can do. I'm just going to get rid of those status effects. So the burning on my ship, I'm just getting rid of that. As we spin around, we're going to attack the wall here. We do have more ships inbound, but let's just see what damage these things do. So there you go, about 5,000, up to 5,000 damage per hit. Times that by 13. And that gives you an indication of how much damage we're doing per volley. So you can see that the wall is going down quite quickly with just me attacking it. So these Naga's calls are actually very, very handy for taking out walls and taking out fortifications. But unfortunately, we do have other ships to take out as well, or fortunately, I should say. So you can get a really good idea of how good these Naga's calls are as I'm about to hit the rocks. How cool would it be if every time you hit the rocks, your ship would sink? I would be sinking a lot more than I am. Alright. You can see these things are fairly brutal. They're doing a lot of damage. If I can actually hit this thing, I get the range on it. Unfortunately, when you're soloing a Megafort, you really have to be moving constantly because otherwise you will get sunk. You can see my health's gone down a couple of times now, and I've had to use my health kits, which is fairly standard. I don't have my mate Bud Bundy with me. Bud Bundy, call him Bud Bundy. General Bud, I don't have him with me to heal me, but if he was here with me, I'd literally just be sitting still as he would be healing me up, pretty much providing support as I attack the fortification. So we're just going to move back and forth. In fact, I'm actually going to sit still here because we might just be able to take this out before I get attacked too badly. So again, look at that, sort of 4,000 to 5,000 damage per hit. That's quite significant. I'm doing between 50 and 60,000, maybe even slightly more damage per volley. So that's a pretty good strike rate. I'm making pretty short work of this wall. Bit nervous sitting here without moving, but you can see how powerful these Naga's calls are. Go take out this fella here. So, took out that level 19 ship pretty easily. Unfortunately, we're going to get more ships coming into us. So this is going to take a little while, but please stick around. Like I say, I do enjoy doing these videos for you guys, so if you are liking them, please give us a like. Please consider subscribing. I'm only very little. I've only got a little page at this stage, but your support will help my page grow. So I just appreciate you subscribing in the first place, and obviously giving us a like and a comment, because that all helps the YouTube algorithm. Now we've got the Commodore here, and you can see again I'm making relatively light work of him. Unfortunately, there is quite a few enemies here, so we are going to have to... The main thing here is to take out the DMC ships. Don't worry too much about the other ships, because the DMC ships dictate whether we move on with this Megafort onto the next stage of the Megafort attack. I'm not spending a lot of time bracing, which is to my detriment here as I'm losing a lot of health, but that is okay.
You will not see home.
I'm on fire again, so we'll get rid of those status effects with some food. I really need to take out this Commodore. This volley should take care of it. Oh, there you go. Managed to board him there. Alright, and that's completed stage 3 of the Megafort. So, look, these final stages should, in theory, go pretty quickly. But, you know, it always takes a lot longer when you are in a solo with these things. You have to really stay on top of taking out these ships as quickly as possible, because if you don't, more DMC ships will come along and you're in the same boat. Now, these are level 20 ships, so it'll be quite interesting to see how we go. And just how powerful these Naga's calls are. Look at that. That volley has absolutely obliterated that ship. So we're just going to take them out as quick as we can, really. So doing a lot of damage there to these DMC ships. These Naga's calls are quickly becoming my favourite Culverans, to be honest, and I'm a big fan of the Urban's great guns, but these Culverans, these Naga's calls are great. So let's just flip around so we can end this ship as we heal again. It's not very often I get to do Megafort Oosten solo, so it is quite cool that I am able to record this one for you guys. Alright, so that is phase 3 done. See, I am actually suffering quite a bit of flooding damage as well, so that's a little bit of a concern for me as we're going into the final few rounds of Oosten here as the sun rises in Skull and Bones land. And we're going to head round to the other side of Oosten. If those of you who are familiar with Oosten, you'll know that the next wall to take out is on the northern side of Oosten. So as we come around here. Alright, so effectively we're taking out ships here. That's our little mission. So we're going to go through and do that now. I'm picking these also level 20s. Yes, they'll be level 20. Again, I'm calling these guys galleons because they kind of look a bit like galleons, but they could very well be flutes or West Indiamans, which are another common ship from the Dutch Navy from way back then. Oh, that was terrible. There you go, that weak point damage is brutal. Made relatively short work of that fella there. And what we're going to do, we're going to use the rockets here just to go over the top of this sinking ship. Just so we can speed this along a little bit quicker for you guys. There we go, all sorted. Alright, so now we need to... we've got another ship here that we're going to have to deal with. We'll deal with him quickly. There you go. One volley and he is all done and dusted. You can see my hull damage is not ideal there at the moment. But those crew attacks do help me out. They give me 8,000 health, so that's quite handy. These are the thunder cannons on the back. See, they're not very effective when they're on the back. It's always about your broadsides, people. So your broadside weapons are the most important. Alright, we're going to have to take out this wall as quick as we can. If I can. Hopefully it's not glitching. Unfortunately, it looks like the wall is glitching, which is not ideal at all. So we might not even be able to complete this. I would be hoping that Ubisoft would have fixed that by now, but fortunately that doesn't look like it's the case. So anyway, we're going to continue to attack these ships in the meantime. And you can see how powerful these Naga's calls are. I'm not going to sit here and do the math. There are other people in the Skull and Bones community who have got spreadsheets and all sorts of things available to look at what does the most damage and the like. That is probably a little bit a little bit more advanced than I'm willing to go on these things. And as I say as well, like I've probably said this before, but there are other builds out there where you can really maximize your damage. I don't particularly want to have the highest DPS ship in the world. I think it's more challenging if you've got sort of a mid-range kind of DPS thing going on. Now we're going to try and attack this wall again because it is the last thing that we need to do. Unfortunately, it is not allowing us to do that, so there's not much we can really do here with the old Megafort, unfortunately, when it is like this. When it glitches out, it is a little bit painful. We'll try something else here. We'll just try and go outside the plunder area, and we'll come back in and just see if that somehow resets the wall. And if that doesn't work, we'll just cut the video short at that, which would be rather unfortunate because it's always nice to complete these things. Still gives me a good opportunity here to show you, to showcase these Naga's calls. Definitely glitched out there. So that is really unfortunate, guys. Really hoping to showcase, well, finishing Megafort Oosten as a solo, but I'm going to post it as a solo Megafort Oosten takedown. It's pretty obvious I would have completed it. So the main thing here is what do you think of the Naga's calls? Because I quite like them. I think these are really powerful weapons that really pack a punch. So let me know in the comments what you think as I crash into crash into the rocks again. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, guys, as to how you feel about the Naga's calls. We're just going to quickly heal up so I don't die, because I quite like them. I think they're a good they're a good little Culverin, to be honest, and I'm starting to think that these are better than the Urban's Great Guns. So let me know in the comments. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and we will see you in the next video.